if I didn't lift weights, I would be completely lost in life and be as much of a degenerate as you are. I'm joking. But specifically, lifting weights completely changed my life because it made me feel like a man. It unlocked the masculine urge inside of me to keep pushing, leading on to me being disciplined in other things like no fap and, sticking to a healthy diet, whatever, right? Working out and pushing myself each and every day makes me feel as if I deserve success. I deserve to be the man I want to be, right? Think about it. If I'm just laying in bed all day, I'm just on my phone scrolling all day, each day, every day, am I going to feel within myself that I deserve success? No, of course not. I can lie to myself and say, oh yeah, I deserve success. But if I'm not putting in the work, I can't keep lying to myself every day and say, I'm going to be successful. I deserve success. I don't deserve success if I'm not putting in the work. There's not one time where I use the bench or do a bunch of push-ups where beforehand I don't think to myself, oh man, this is so long. Because to be honest with you, most of the time when I work out, I feel like trash, whether that's mentally or physically. I just feel garbage because I've just woken up. I work out at the start of the day, right? So I don't want to work out at the start of the day. I just want to relax at the start of the day because I've just woken up. So I'm still a little bit on the tired side, right? But I do it anyways. I read the quotes on my wall. I've got a bunch of quotes on my wall that I've even made a video about before of some of the quotes I do have on the wall. If you want to check that out, it's the six deep quotes from successful people, something like that. On my channel you can find it. But just reading those quotes each and every day motivate me to keep pushing. It's about the mindset and the discipline you have. It's about how much you want it. Yeah, it's gonna hurt in the present, it's gonna hurt for like a couple minutes, but sacrificing that couple minutes of pain in the present is gonna benefit you so much in the future. And it's funny because the little comfort lower voice in my head is always like, oh, let's just have a rest day today, let's relax, you've worked out enough. But how comes, if I really want a rest day, how comes every time I don't work out and actually do give myself a rest day, I only give myself a rest day if I actually feel like I deserve it. I don't just give myself rest days for no reason. I try to work out every day no matter what, lift weights. But sometimes I feel sore. But how comes when I do give myself a rest day, I feel so crap mentally. I feel awful. I feel like less of a man. I feel like a woman, that I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Lifting, and I've spoken about this in one of my recent videos on purpose. It's like when you're not fulfilling your purpose 24/7 as a man, when you're actually resting and relaxing, which you should think, oh, this is nice, I'm resting. You don't really feel that satisfaction as much as you thought. Maybe for the first 5-10 minutes, maybe even for the first hour, you're like, oh, this is nice, I needed this break. But then as the break goes on and on and on, you feel like trash. You want to get back to work. You want to work on that business. You want to lift weights. You don't want to break that streak of not working hard. And the absolute best part about working out is when it's over and you can go to your bathroom mirror, for example, and just look at your physique and look at how hard you've worked for it. Admire the pump you've gotten from your workout. I'm not saying I'm the biggest in the world. I think I look all right. Like, me without a shirt, I feel like I look okay. Like, my shoulders are quite broad. My arms are all right, I guess. I'm very insecure about my arms. I feel like they're quite small. But when I have a t-shirt on, you can't really notice that well. So obviously I'm trying to gain weight, bulk up a bit more, because naturally I'm quite lean, quite skinny. But when I look at myself in the mirror, and with the lighting from the bathroom light shining on my physique, it really does make me feel good and remind me why I'm doing this in the first place. The reason why 99% of people relapse on what they're meant to be doing, the reason why people don't do the hard work, is because they forget. That lower voice forces them to forget why they started in the first place, right? Let's use no fap, for example. Oh, I really want to fap. What you should be thinking is, okay, I really want to fap, but why aren't I fapping? What was the reason why I got onto no fap in the first place? Oh yeah, because I've got a wife and 2 kids and I'm a Christian. I should not be watching, that devil satanic, porn, right? So there's always that reason for why you started in the first place. So I've made a video on this before, right? The reason, put the reason why you started up on your wall. So every time you feel like relapsing or not doing something that you're supposed to do, look at that note that you've written down on your wall and see, okay, right, come on, man, we're being silly. Let's get to work. Let's work. Let's not be lazy. Let's not be feminine and, lean into our emotions and feelings instead of, our logic and, actual brains, right? You see, like, lots of men of any age, from like 10 years old to 40 years old, right? They all play video games and like try to level up in their video games and try to get all the cosmetic items and high rankings. And, obviously I'm not saying like, I don't necessarily play games like that. I play like Tetris once in a while because I feel like that's good for my brain. I play like sort of like puzzle games that like are somewhat productive in a way, right? I don't really play like level up games. I wasn't really a fan of the story games because I don't feel like I have to level up in a story. I can level up in real life. I can lift some weights for an hour and then look in the mirror and literally see the progress I have made every single day, right? Everyone is desperate for gratification, but 99% of people always choose the instant gratification because it's so easy, right? You don't need to feel that physical and mental pain to play video games. I mean, okay, maybe mental pain if it's like making you rage and stuff, but you don't need to feel that physical pain of, I gotta lift this weight, I gotta do this set, I gotta do this rep, right? You don't feel that when you play video games. You just play the game and it's fun and enjoyable, right? That's why people don't go to the gym and actually better themselves, because they feel like it's easier to better themselves in a game, right? Which is, sad when you think about it, obviously. But, I'm quite sympathetic and I understand that lots of people also are just in a bad environment. Like maybe they're going through stuff in their life and they're just so desperate for comfort, or they just have the wrong people around them. So, I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but you have to try. You really have to try and better yourself and not let the comfort win, not let that lower voice win. For the first couple hours of the day when I start working out, I feel like crap. Like I said, I feel like trash. I don't want to do it. But then for the remaining, like 12 hours of the day or however long I'm up for, I feel great because I know I've worked out. I know that, I force myself to leave my comfort zone and work out no matter, what the lower voice says. I'm proud of myself for working out. I'm not giving into the comfort, right? And I rather it be that way around than the other way around, right? That, I decide to wake up and I decide, hey, I'm just not going to work out today. I'm not injured. I'm not sore. I'm perfectly capable to work out. I just don't feel like it. I'm just going to lean towards my emotions and I don't feel like it, right? And then for the first hour or two, I feel great, like, oh yes, I can just relax, I can just watch YouTube, I can do whatever, right? I don't have a timetable, I could just chill, I can relax. But then the hours keep going and going and going, and you feel awful. You really it makes you miserable, honestly, because you're not fulfilling your purpose. As a man, you need to be fulfilling your purpose no matter what, right? No matter how you're feeling, because in the long run, you are going to feel weak. You're going to feel unmasculine if you're not working out, if you're not working on your business, if you're not doing something productive that you are passionate about. You're going to hate yourself, right? You are going to hate yourself. And that is the worst pain I can feel. When I hate myself, when I know that I could be doing better and I'm not, that is so much more painful than me doing a few press-ups or doing the bench or bicep curls. That is way more painful. Mental pain is way more painful than physical pain, right? Because at least while I'm feeling the physical pain, I know I'm doing the right thing. I know that I'm doing what's right and I'm proud of myself for that. But if I feel that mental pain of, I really hate myself, like I know I'm not doing the right thing and I need to be doing better, but I'm just, giving into that comfort. Maybe it's not working out you necessarily struggle with and it's keeping your no-fap streak or, be more consistent with your business. Whatever it is, remember that pain, that awful pain that we always keep forgetting, even though we feel it and we know it's bad and we tell ourselves we're never going to do this again. We're always guilty of being, unproductive again and again. We keep making this mistake. We need to lock in our heads that no, there is no freaking pain worse than the pain of hating ourselves, the pain of regret, the pain of discipline doesn't hurt nowhere near as much as the pain of regret. And we need to, sorry, I got an itch. We need to remember this, right? Next time we feel like, procrastinating, is that the right word? Procrastinating, relapsing or whatever, right? Or, giving into that comfort, having a break. We need to remember why we started in the first place. We need to remember that feeling of hate that we feel for ourselves every time we mess up. And that's everything I've got to say in this video. Hey, listen, if you are not lifting weights, please consider lifting weights. You just feel so much more manly, right? You know, your weights, if you buy a set of weights, they'll never leave you, right? Like, you can't rely on, you know, like social things like going to parties and stuff and talking to girls to feel more masculine, because there will be some days where, you know, women, you're going to run into a disrespectful woman and she's going to bring your mood down. But lifting weights, you know, weightlifting is never going to backstab you. It's always going to be there for you and help you at all times, as long as you're obviously doing it safely. So consider lifting weights. But I assume if you are watching this and, you know, you're on self-improvement, I assume you do lift weights or exercise in some way. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, because if you've watched this far, then it shows that, you know, I'm sure me and you can relate, and I want you on this journey on this channel. So thank you for watching. As always, take care and peace. Bye bye.